Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jiganomics, and I'm AJ Moore, and just want to share this quick video with y'all. I have this this jig here. I really want to just show y'all how to rig it. I wonder, can I go sideways? Yes, I can. Okay. What can I?
Let me hold it in a little bit.
Alright, so they won't let me go sideways. So look, this is how I rig my jig. Hold this for me, Shalina. I got my daughter holding it. Wait, say hi, Shalina.
Hi.
Alright, so I got my little daughter holding my camera, so it might shake a little bit, but it's gonna be a quick video. Hold this, please, and try to be as still as possible, okay?
Okay.
Alright. So what you do is, I like to use a 1/16 ounce jig. I usually use 2 jigs, y'all. I don't never go bigger than this. If I want heavier weight, I'll throw a split shot on before I go with a bigger jig head. But I usually fish 2 jigs. So what I do is, hold on, keep it right there. So a lot of guys, I've seen guys fish and they miss a lot of fish, but it's always about how you put this on your jig, your jig. So this is a Bobby Garland, one of my favorites. Shout out to Bobby Garland. This is called Key Lime Pie. Really dangerous jig. Y'all go check it out. Go get it. But what you're gonna do is, I seen a guy fishing like this one day. Everybody's catching fish, but he was missing fish. And I went up to him. I was like, "Why you keep missing fish, man?" I looked at his pole, and his jig was rigged like this. It was like this. This is not how you rig your jig on the jig head. This is not how you slide it on the hook. No way. You're gonna miss fish because you have no gap in between your body of your jig and your hook. Okay, so Shalina, hold this again for me. This is how I hook mine. Remember, this little barb on top is meant for you to slide your jig all the way up to the face of the head of the jig. Keep it on there. Hold it, Shalina. This is how I rig my pole, my jig. I want the biggest gap possible between my rubber jig and the hook. Even when we tie our handmade jigs, the hook is a huge gap in between. It's even a bigger gap than any rubber jig, and that's why a lot of times our hard body jigs work good too. So check out Jiganomicsoutdoors.com. Check out our jigs, and this is just a few quick crappie tips that I just wanted to share with y'all. Another tip too, what people do, if you know they're hitting a certain color and they banging it, what you need to do is put some super glue on the jig head, on right here in between the jig head and the body, and that'll keep your rubber jig on the hook as long as possible until the actual whole rubber piece break off. So that's some quick crappy tips for y'all. Let me see what else I can think of that I do. Oh, another thing. You know what another thing? Shalina, hold this. One day, and my homeboy Lo, he can testify that this works. One night we went fishing to Canal Point, and we were fishing, and it was fish jumping everywhere. We wasn't catching nothing. We caught a few. I'm not gonna lie, we caught a few, but it wasn't fast. I was like, man, we gotta do something. My homeboy Dwayne Williams out of Fort Lauderdale, shout out to Dwayne. He was telling me about, hey, sometimes you can go with a smaller jig and catch more fish. I'm like, what? Don't make sense. But he swore up and down, and he knows his stuff. So, I said, what else can I do? I got to try it because I want to catch fish. We traveled a long way. Our trips for fishing was usually like an hour and 30 minutes. So we got to ride out. So I want to catch fish. So let me show you something. Here, hold this. One more time. It's the last time, okay? We was fishing with a jig. What we did was, or what I did, I took one of my jigs. I was fishing with 4 jigs that night, 2 on each pole. I got one, and I got my fingernail, and I cut it in half. That's all I was left with. Same color. I didn't change the color or anything. I put that thing back on the hook, just like this. Went to a smaller profile, and immediately I caught a fish. My next fish came off of this jig, the smaller jig. So you know what I did? I took all of the other 3 jigs off of my poles, and I cut them in half, same color. I didn't change the color or anything. I started catching fish left and right. It works. That method, if the fish ain't biting, you got to go in your bag and try stuff. Because before you leave, you got to make sure you tried everything to say, okay, the fish are not biting today. That you eliminated the fact that the fish are not biting. And you can't do nothing about it. Don't go to a spot and fish, try one method, and say, oh, they're not biting and leave. Because truth be told, I done been to spots and been there for an hour, 30 minutes, trying to figure out how they biting, what they want. And I run upon a method that they like, and they started hitting. So try this smaller jig thing, man. Even if you don't even have to break your jig, just go buy smaller jigs. I just did this. This was just an example of smaller jig works. So I hope these tips work and help y'all out next time y'all go on the Fish Creek. Again, this is AJ Moore, Jiganomics Outdoors. And thanks again. And I'll be making more of these little live videos. Peace.